Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hey everybody, welcome to this session of mine. I'm Shabana Shahab. I'm an educator on Unacademy. And what do I do on Unacademy? I teach VARC for CAT. VARC is verbal ability and reading comprehension. But am I sitting over here today to teach you VARC? No, of course not. It's for something else. I'll tell you what it is. Let me give you a name, SCIT. S for sugar, C for cat, I for India, T for Tata. SCIT stands for Symbiosis Center for Information Technology. Now that's an institute which is part of the prestigious Symbiosis International University. As we all know, Symbiosis University has many colleges under its umbrella. And SCIT, as the name very well suggests, has been imparting this, I would say, offbeat information technology, management in information technology, and some other courses for the last 20 years under the prestigious umbrella of SIU. So, I have been reading a little bit about this institute, and I have come to know some nice things. So that is what set my brain ticking. I started thinking, okay, I tutor, I mentor so many students to appear for CAT, and then they also appear for SNAP. So should they take this institute? Should they opt for this institute? And I had been reading a lot of good things about it, but then, as they say, it's always good to hear it from the horse's mouth. So that is what I decided to do. Unacademy cherry-picked 2 students from SCIT. And we have got these 2 students with us, the bright, beautiful, handsome faces, the lovely people over here who are going to tell us something about SCIT, and they're going to endorse my thoughts, whether my students, my aspirants, CAT aspirants, SNAP aspirants should opt for SCIT or not. Okay? So chalo, without further ado, let's meet these 2 people and dekhte hain ye hai kaun. So the first one is Aryan Nair. You know something about Aryan Nair? He is from Kerala, God's own country. Okay, now God's own country, bole to beautiful backwater scenery. Aryan Nair happens to be an artist who, even when he was small, he would sit and sketch here and there. And then he realized that he had this potential. So he developed his drawing, he honed his skills. And he is definitely a good artist because he does a lot of graphic penciling and all that. Jo bhi kaha jata hai usko. I think I need to take lessons from him because mere students jante hain how pathetic I am at drawing. The moment I start drawing, they all start cheering. Man, ye to aap चूहा बनाने की कोशिश कर रही थी, ये चींटी बन गई, ये अंडा बन गया, ये क्या बन गया. And Aryan also happens to be a good singer. So this is Aryan, who is from Kerala. Meanwhile, in another part of the country, in Maharashtra, there was a beautiful kid by the name Gunjan Mali, pretty as a princess. All right, and this princess, as pretty as anything, was trying to break stereotypes. You won't believe, but she's a footballer. Can you imagine a woman footballer? I mean, sunte mere to like, oh my God, footballer. So she also sings, and of course, she plays good football. So these 2 people, one from Kerala, one from Maharashtra, they both study at SCIT. And now I'm taking you over to these 2 people who are going to tell us whether SCIT is a good bet for you guys or not. All right, Aryan and Gunjan, I welcome you to the session on behalf of Unacademy. Hey, both of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice to be here.
Hi, Gunjan.
Hi, ma'am. First of all, thank you for this wonderful introduction. I'm glad to be here and looking forward to the session, ma'am.
Thank you so much, guys, for taking out your precious time. And we are definitely delighted to have you both on board with us. Now, as I just said to my students, that we would like to know a little bit about your college. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you a few questions. We would just like to know if your college is like kind of, it is like one of the aces, one of the good colleges, one of the dream colleges that should be there on an aspirants list. See what happens, Aryan and Gunjan, is that when we talk about symbiosis, there are like a few institutes which are very well known. Okay, and then there are these offbeat institutes which are like maybe not very well publicized, but then they are definitely doing some great work. They are churning out talent. They are churning out excellence every year. So that is why Unacademy decided to do this session with you guys. All right. Okay. Now, let me begin by asking you this thing, both of you. Why do you think a student should have SCIT on their dream college list? Who would like to take this? Yeah, go ahead, Gunjan.
So I think any student preparing for an MBA college should opt for SCIT. It should be in his bucket list because SCIT offers information technology. SCIT is, far more ahead than remaining all the other B schools. It is way ahead, and it's as the IT sector is booming these days. I think SCIT is the one who took this sector, and it is giving the specializations in that sector. So I think everyone should keep SCIT in their dream college in order to opt information technology, in order to be in the school which is unique from the rest of the B schools in India. So I think these are the reasons any student should go for SCIT. So this was my main reason. Aryan, I'd like to take you ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Gunjan. So exactly like Gunjan said, ma'am, it merges two different domains like technology and management. So that's why we call it offers techno-managerial courses. So that is kind of rare. And secondly, if you consider the recent COVID scenario, we know how data analytics and information technology management is it's increasing in its relevance because of the virtual environment that we are in. And hence SCIT helps a student in setting up their career high in life. And obviously with the recent developments in various domains such as cloud computing or like big data analytics and all, which obviously a data science student and an ITBM student is well versed in within 2 years. And because of that, I think it's an value addition to the students because they get hands-on experience in all of these. So that's your answer.
Cool, that's interesting. So you both explained very beautifully as to like why a student should apply. But if a student wants to apply to SCIT, how does he go about it? I mean, is it like through CAT or only through SNAP, or how did you both do it?
Yeah, so can I take it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Okay, so it's very simple. First, you have to register for SNAP in SNAP website. And secondly, after paying the fee, you have to register for, you have a specific form for each institute, and you have to register specifically for SCIT. And then after that, it's done. Like you have to give your best for SNAP exam and you'll be selected.
Okay. What about you, Gunjan? Would you like to say something on that?
Yes. So I think everyone can apply for SNAP. Doesn't matter what they have graduated in, what stream they had chosen in their undergrad. Everyone can apply as in the SNAP process, and everyone could get selected basis on a criteria and certain percentiles. So after that, we have a GDPI award session where we select the candidates on the basis of the interview, group discussion abilities, and the written test, that is the WAT test. So these are the procedures for a particular candidate to get selected in SCIT.
Okay, so what you both are saying is that SCIT takes only SNAP scores.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, fine. And you said that the emphasis is on WAT, that's WAT, the writing ability test, and on GDPI rounds also. Now, in the end, is there an HR interview? Like a personal interview, right?
In order to join SCIT, there will be 2 panelists or 3 panelists which will take you up to the personal interview after clearing the GEPI. So it is the last round of interview. So there, the panelists take up your interest, your resume they ask, which will be taking up your resume and will be scanning on your undergrad and what all things you have done in your life and what interests you more to get into SCIT. So these are the basic things which panelists want in you. So if you get a good score, if you crack the percentile, if you're good at group discussion and give a fabulous interview, you'll be looking forward to get into SCIT. So
Aryan, what was, where did you perform the best? Like, was it WAT or GD or like the final round of interview?
Yeah, so it's somewhat like the process is all the same for everyone, because I was feeling really comfortable because the rest of it was the last process and I got a short time to eat my food and I was feeling very energetic after that. And I think I did best for that. But nonetheless, since I had strong competitors for GD, and that also gave me like a slight challenge because it was a very relevant topic about which I had to write. But I am just glad that my performance was very accepted by the. So yeah, so I think personal interview was the place I performed the best.
Okay, now you guys told me a little bit about the courses that are there. Like you spoke about the importance of information technology and then information systems and all. What exactly are the courses that are offered at SCIT, and which course is its specialization? I mean, like, the forte thing that I should say, the USP of that particular institute. Who would like to
Okay,
answer?
so I would answer about DSDA because I'm from data science and data analytics.
Right.
And okay, so about DSDA, so it doesn't have specialization as in, but we can learn about a lot of new and like nascent domains such as big data analyst, then data mining, then we can learn about text analytics, etc., computer visions, etc. So all these are domains that are like greatly like set you ahead in your career, because and cloud computing also, sorry for not mentioning that. So like these are domains that in recent periods have like experienced like rapid growth, and due to the changing environmental and market situations, it will continue to grow. For example, according to an article which actually apparently it was something that motivated me to apply to SCIT. So which was released in 2018. So the total percentage of people who wanted data was 97%, and only 3% of the population actually knew how to handle it, visualize it, and effectively convey it. And what I'm learning, it's like
No,
really
so
impressive.
I would like to interrupt over here. So what you are trying to say is, when you saw that this was a road less traveled, that is when
Yeah,
it kind of
exactly.
piqued your curiosity and you decided to go for it. Is that
Exactly,
what you're
like that.
saying?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So ma'am, like exactly like you said, it was a domain that was completely new to me, but it was also a domain that had great potential. Then why should I refrain from taking it? And it was also interesting. I just looked at the different subjects, that, like you said, different subjects that I get to learn from there. And so like I just have to say this, like dealing with the current marketing and manufacturing or any other domain, data analytics is like very important, and the growth is also like very high, and SCIT is like able to capture everything clearly, and we can get that experience also. About ITBM, Gunjan.
Gunjan, I would like to ask Gunjan first. Was it totally your decision, Gunjan, to join SCIT, or somebody had influenced you? Like in the case of Aryan, it was an article. What was your point of influence?
Okay, so when I was scanning all the MBA colleges, so what would I choose and how would my career be on peak when I graduated from a top B school? So what my friend suggested is that when I was a botany student in my undergraduation. So I have all studies about the zoology and the botany and the plants. So I just wanted a way to, keep my career as well as ace in the information technology sector. And I wanted to do MBA and have something, a startup or be in a corporate firm. So, but with keeping my own interest in place. So, what my friends suggested, who already were in Symbiosis from the Agricultural Institute of Symbiosis, so they suggested me to take ITVM course of SCIT. So they told me that you can always keep your interest, plus information technology is really, falling into places with all other specializations in today's world. So why not take information technology and why not take MBA which interests you? Okay. So that is when I found out about the ITBM course in SCIT, which is Information Technology Business Management. Yeah. So then I found out that there are 5 specializations. One is systems, the other is data science, the other is information security. The other 2 were in IT infrastructure management and software solution management. So all these things align to any startup or any corporate firm of your interest. You could align it with your undergrad. So this is the best thing about SCIT ITBM course, which I found to be unique in every way a student can imagine.
All right, that's very well answered. I can understand. I can see the whole picture now. Now, let's say my student has reached SCIT, okay, and okay, fine, he applied through Snap and he has reached there. But what kind of companies visit the campus? I mean, I'm not exactly talking about placement because placement becomes another domain. But I mean, definitely before you guys also joined SCIT, you must have done a little bit of homework as to what kind of companies visit and pick the students.
I think one of the USPs of SCIT is that it's in Hinjawadi. That's like the techno hub, and it's like so close to all the companies that would hire. So, like you said, it's a different domain altogether. But basically, the big four is always visit SCIT, and I can talk to you about the different job roles that you get. Well, respective to the course that you take. For example, if you take data analytics, you get the job role of big data analyst, digital enablement, data architect, data analyst, business analyst, etc. And if you take ITBM, you can get job roles like IT advisory services, information assets management. Gunjan could help me with some of the other few. And these are the job roles. So like any company that from the banking sector, from financial sector, from obviously from information technology sector, almost like from these sectors that actually need the integration of management and IT, as we told, would come for placements. So like Gunjan could actually help with the two other job roles that ITBM people get.
Sure, Aryan. So there's always a combination of job roles you want to do in your future. Personally, if I want to do an opt for a job role which gives me marketing plus big data analysis. So there comes our subject which we have in the second semester, that is predictive analytics. So we could always use this courses or this subjects to ace in particular job role. So I think SCIT offers the job roles in various fields like a consultant, a BA profile keeping in focus of data science, BA profile keeping in focus of the client front. So all these types of role are offered in SCIT. Also, the information security students get the financial tech risk, the auditing roles, all these roles are covered in SCIT, and all these information technology correlated roles are also offered in SCIT. So it's not just you have to be niche in some domain to offer niche in the technological domain. In order to ace in the MBA or SCIT, you can always find this job roles which could collide with your interest. So there are the various job roles which SCIT offers. So
Abhi, just now Aryan mentioned that it's your college is at Hinjawadi, right? I think that's one of the IT parks of Pune.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does, I mean, of course, you told me about the exposure, the visibility to the companies around and all, but does this particular fact, like the fact that you are there at Hinjawadi, does it add to the overall well-being of the students? I mean, do you get that feeling that you are part of a hub and you feel all the time, you feel motivated and charged? Does it contribute in that way?
I think to a great extent, because like the primary effect is that if these companies want someone who actually has hands-on experience on these fields that they require, they just know where to go. Like it's next door. Exactly like that you said, because personally we have never been to SCIT yet because of the COVID scenario, and I hope I get to go there soon. And I think obviously the students might have felt that motivation and inspiration when they see these big buildings and companies filled with like very efficient and technologically high people. You see when you see them, definitely they might have felt this inspiration to be like them or like to go there and work there. So I think that is obviously it plays a psychological kind of motivation in your brain. And besides that, the companies also know where to get people who are good in this domain, and the college also knows where to go. Exactly. Right. So that is an huge influence. But more about Pune, I think Gunjan could be able to say. because I've never been there.
Right. Gunjan, yes.
So I've been in Pune from last 5 years. So I know Hinjawadi sector very well. Like it is so hyped because of the IT firm which it has. Like all around SCIT, it's filled with the IT companies, Gate, Wipro, Deloitte, and some other companies. So when students think of entering an MBA college, it thinks about the industry or the sector the students want to land in. So when SCIT gives this kind of exposure, like we see all around the big firms and which we want to go after our 2 years MBA. So this is like Aryan said, it is a different motivation from, so we will be there in these companies after we pass out. So this is the kind of exposure we get. We have various events in SCIT which needs the collaboration of, collaborating with industry experts from IT industries. We need collaboration of people who are willing to come in our event and we have the access to go in their office events. So these are the things we get uniquely from the rest of the students. So this exposure is only possible when we are landing into the same sector and the location of our college in the same, same domain, and it's surrounded by the same people. So I think it is a unique thing to experience in this 2 years MBA. So I'm really looking forward to it because this is what SCIT will offer.
Okay, so how long has it been? I mean, when did you guys start attending your online classes? How long back did you join? When did you start?
So you want to go? Okay, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we started our online classes from July. And now in November, we have our first semester exams. And from end of November or the first week of December, we'll probably have our second sem started. So that's when in the July, we started with our online session.
Okay, so see, you said that abhi tak, like you have not been to the campus, right? As Aryan also said. So, and you told us like, okay, this is IT is the big thing that is happening. And of course, with the virtual scenario picking up and all. Now, you have been attending online classes, that too in this particular domain, the IT domain. So what do you think the pedagogy means, the teaching methods, the teaching ways and all, are they aligned as per the industry needs? And now that you are attending it online, how do you think it is justified? I mean, are you getting the relevant practical experience, hands-on experience, or are you just made to do theoretical portions?
Can I take that one?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's like very amazing to be pretty honest. Like, for example, I have a course called Domain Study where we learn about manufacturing and logistics, and to teach about augmented reality. One of the lecturers actually made us download an app, and he actually showed what like real-time data collection from a machine is made possible using augmented reality, and how to employ deep learning. And he told us about industry 4.0, 5.0, etc. And the usage of core words and all. These are like technical terms, but like sitting in his class, being a fresher and having zero technical background, I was able to grasp it. And if I am able to grasp it, then anyone can. It was really great.
May I interrupt and ask you the name of the app once again for the benefit of the learners?
Yeah, I just remember the short form. It was HBR. How it was made by Howard only. Should I get the exact name? Yeah.
Okay.
Should I get the exact name?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, because this sounds very interesting to me. You are saying that with zero technical background, you were able to make sense of it. So that is kind of something motivating. Students out there who have like not much technical background can expect to go over there and pick things right from the beginning. This is why
it's called Harvard Business Review AR. And also like one of his classes are always great. Like, for example, if we also have another class on mathematics foundations where the lecturer made us to use GeoGebra, which like made the graphical representation part of mathematics pretty much easy, very easy.
Hmm.
And like almost everything is like that. Like for example, like I would like to say again, last time I did coding was on my 10th. So after that I took biology and I did my BB, and now I'm doing my MBA in DSTA. So I had this doubt in my mind: would I be able to cope up with the people who actually have technical knowledge? But that doubt wasn't that, like it was baseless, because when I joined here, every time what we do is, when as the lecturer is coding, we code like on the background. And when we are doing that, you can get that experience. But obviously, and I would like to stress on this fact, nothing can compensate the fact that we are not in our campus right now. And even when we are so far away, I'm like so motivated to go there, because as you know, everyone can agree to that. Nothing can compensate that fact, to the face-to-face teaching methods and all. But even though, the kind of effort that they are doing is remarkable.
Okay, that's good. Gunjan, your take on this, or should we move on to the next one?
No, I think I would like to add something about the online classes when it started. I was clueless about what electives to choose, what specializations I'll be looking forward to in my first semester. I don't know whom to ask because it was online. I made no friends till then. So there were a form circulated where they had, the email IDs of the faculties who are going to teach us those specializations. So I contacted like 3 to 4 faculties, and everyone was, generous enough to reply me and tell me that hence you are from a biology background, and if you have interest in data science, you could take up data science. We'll teach you from the basics. You don't have to worry about that. So these are the sentences I was relieved after listening to these sentences, and I did opt for data science in my first semester. I have no coding background. I learned R, Python in my first semester. I learned SQL. So these are the things I got from SCIT. If I couldn't, if I didn't ask the faculty, I did not, was willing to learn these things, I wouldn't have. But when you are here, you have to take the full exposure of the teachers, of the help you get from the faculties. And most of the teachers are industry experts, and the faculties from great institutes, they have really great knowledge, so they will help you. Because this you should, use every help you can get from your faculties and mentors. We all have mentors. 8 students have a single mentor, so we are really guided by the mentors in SCIT. So we choose great specializations and look forward to our studies. So these all things are done really great in SCIT.
You just mentioned that there is like one educator, one mentor for 8 students. So
Yes.
this is the ratio, 8:1.
Yes.
Okay. And how many students are there total in your class?
So in IDBM, there are approximately 180 to 200 students. And in DSDA, Aryan?
Yeah, so there are 80 students in my class, and it's not 8 students to 1 member ratio for me. It's somewhat like 20:1. I'm not exactly sure of, because it may change, since
so
we can't divide it.
So I get the picture. So Gunjan's class is more rowdy. They are like more badmash. So that's why they have 8:1. And Aryan's class is more systematic and more organized. So they are like 20:1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. I mean, that's very good to hear. Okay, you've got a proper mentorship, and you know whom to approach, you know where to go to.
Exactly.
Because as they say, mentors play a very important role in a person's life. So, okay, that is very clear. So okay, the pedagogy and all you're saying is quite up to the mark, and they are industry experts, as you said. Now, there's one more thing that is lurking at the back of my mind. That is, if you guys have joined there, see, there is a lot besides your curriculum. Okay. I mean, you go anywhere, whether it's SCIT or even for that matter, IIM Ahmedabad, there is something else also besides your curriculum. That is your extracurricular, your co-curricular, your overall growth. Okay. So, like, what kind of overall development and growth can a student expect in the 2-year duration?
Ranjan, you want to take it up?
Yes. So when I first learned about SCIT, the first question was, as you said, ma'am, I'm a player and I like to dance, I like to sing. So I wanted to know what infrastructure SCIT offers. So I looked it up on the Life of SCIT video. I scrolled through the pages of SCIT. So there I found that they have a great, infrastructure. They have the swimming pool, they have the football ground. So I will also do these things when I'm in SCIT. So there are many things that you could, you could learn, and you, in order to be good in curriculum, you also have to good in your curriculum activities. So when I found out, when I came in SCIT, we had a session introducing of the committees. So there are total 16 committees.
Okay.
And each committee is, in very niche format for the students who want to opt the committees as per their interest. People who want to sing have connect, people who love to dance have Simbates, people who love the process and has to learn the corporate world has GL committee, the GL DSDA, the GL ITBM. So every committee in SCIT is focused on the student's interest and not what particularly format a MBA committee should have. So all the 16 committee covers everything what a student wants to do while they are, learning something, the co-curriculum things or the curriculum things. The students in the committees get a, very high exposure of industry experts. They get to know the collaborators, they get to talk to industry experts, they get to do the podcast with them. So this all exposures are really great, which we have in the committees. So I'm really glad that everyone in SCIT has this opportunity to be in a committee and learn anything else from academics.
Okay, Aryan, your take on it?
Yeah, so like Gunjan said, she recently did a podcast with an industry expert where they learned about deep learning and all. And there is obviously every B school that you go to, you will have a personality change. You'll be more refined and disciplined, and you will know what to say at the right time. You don't want to make mistakes because a great lot of things depends upon you. So if you take my case, I had no idea regarding any domain which is related to the IT sector. But if I'm able to find that there is a sector, there is a domain that could integrate my interest with this one that I am studying, it's only because of the different kind of subjects that I got to like interact with in SCIT. And besides that, if you take the overall development, we had different classes like personality development classes, mental well-beingness classes, everything was there. And also, like Gunjan said, the committees, like they are they are designed in certain way that if you are interested in that, you should go it and you will excel in it. For example, if I wanted to be in admissions committee predominantly because I was pretty impressed with my process, because it got over very efficiently, and I also like the way they interact with me, like the way the previous admission committee handled my queries and everything and guided me. And so to put it forward, it's just that you will get to be in this path and you will get to go in this with confidence, because you know that your interest will be catered and everything that you will need, you will get it there.
Okay, so what you both are trying to say is that like there are ample opportunities. There are provisions, there are 16 committees, as you said, and like whatever your hobby is or whatever you like doing in life, maybe you can find some like-minded people over there, form a group, and yes, you do get chance to develop your personality in an overall manner. This is what you're saying. All right, so this
Exactly.
all this sounds pretty interesting, and ऐसा लग रहा है कि हाँ, you both have found the nirvana place for yourselves. I mean, you both are at the right place, and after the first semester, we sincerely hope that the offline classes start, because as Aryan said some time back, no matter what you do, I don't think anything can compensate for the offline, the infrastructure, the field, the college field that you get on campus. So you need to go there, you need to kind of experience it live. That is fine. Now, before I end the session, I would like to ask one thing to both of you. And I want each of you to answer it totally differently, separately, individually, whatever your take is on it. Okay? See, what I want to know is, and I'm sure by now my audience is also wondering, if you leave SCIT after 2 years, whenever you graduate, After that, what will be your key takeaways that will help you carve out a niche for yourself somewhere in the industry, somewhere in the world, something that will kind of make you realize that, okay, this is where I can see myself. So what I'm trying to ask you is, what will be your key takeaways, and where would you see yourself 4 years, 5 years down the line after graduating?
Yeah, I'm gonna take that up. So the first thing that I learned here was that if you don't know something, you will be like shielded away from that knowledge unless you ask about it. So that is one thing, and that is something that I learned from SCIT, and I think I'll keep that for my entire life. And I see myself as a business analyst in the next 5 years, like after 2 years. And films and cinema, these are like, and very it's like really close to my heart. So I recently got to know that there is a domain where you could do analytics related to films, and production houses are actually hiring people for that. I also want to have an like, you know, customer specific relationship where we can cater their needs and do analytics based on that. So this is one thing, that if you don't know a domain, you should ask for it. And when you are in a place like this, you are being introduced to everything that will actually answer your questions. And do not refrain from asking questions and getting answers and accepting it, because if you do that, then your life is actually set. So that is one thing that I learned.
Okay.
And this is where I like to see myself, hopefully.
Okay, good. Gunjan, what's your take on it?
Okay, so academic wise, and I like to see myself like 4 years after passing through SCIT. I see myself starting a great startup using technology and my field, which is botany. So I would like to, use machine learning and create my own startup in technology and agriculture. So these are the things which everyone is going to land. See, everyone is going to land in a big top firm. Is going to land in a startup or doing something on their own or being in a top corporate field. So these things are which everyone will achieve. But in the 2 year MBA, all the grooming which SCIT offers. So this is what I'll take with me for the lifetime. After graduating from SCIT, I'll be a whole different person. I say this because then I will be able to work with any kind of people, and I'll be comfortable enough in the technology field, because we have great engineers in India, and to cope up with great engineers, we need great managers who have great technical skills. So that all things, I'll be comfortable enough to work with those kind of people, with the industry expert, all the CEOs. I will be comfortable enough to work with them. I will be knowing all the knowledge. I'll know how to coordinate with the top engineers. So these all things, I think it will be best. Doesn't matter what company you land up in. If you're in SCIT, you'll do great after 4 or 5 years in your career, and everyone is going to do great eventually. But the 2 year MBA thing, this is the most you can get nurtured, and this is your post graduation. After that, you're going to do something on your own, or you're going to work for someone else's company, and you're going to ace in corporate. So this, I think the focus of students should be the 2 year experience. So
okay, so what you're trying to say is that you should focus a little more on the journey and kind of, all along enjoy the journey, develop your personality, nurture your talents or whatever, and then graduate as more confident individuals. Right. So, audience, you heard the last reply. And I think that was very confidently answered. I mean, I was surprised because they have just been with the institute since July, they said. They haven't even been to the campus. So just after attending the first semester classes, just after spending a few months with the institute, they sound pretty confident. And the journey has just begun. So we can expect a more confident, a more polished Aryan, and definitely a more sophisticated, a more, what should I say, refined Gunjan, both with great communication skills, both oozing confidence, both ready to take on the world, right? And with like a lot of confidence in their stride. So this is what they feel that they are going to be, they kind of firmly believe that they are going to be better individuals. So I think the questions were very well answered, Gunjan and Aryan. We got a lot of clarity about your institute, and I think that's about it. And anything else that you would like to say in the end, maybe just a message to the aspirants out there? Aryan, first you.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am. I just like to take this scenario as an example because few months down, like back, if you look at me, I was with my friends preparing for Snap and Cat. I've talked to ma'am about this. Now I am actually interacting with you, and VRC was obviously the thing that I love the most doing for preparing for Cat, and now I'm getting to interact with you. And if that is possible, it's only because of the fact that I'm sitting here and I am a student of SCIT. So I'm like really grateful for that. And yeah, it was a very amazing experience. Yeah, it was great. It was great interacting with you.
So that's like, okay, that is something that was the message that came out to me, but no, a message out to the students, the aspirants, a final message. Thank you so much for saying that, Aryan. Thank you so much for being so generous with your words. A final message, a kind of, like, go ahead, do it, hum honge kamyab or anything.
Just do the work, because a few months after that, you will be thanking yourself that you didn't mess around with your time. Rather than playing or like doing your procrastinating or anything, you did the work and you are getting to be here. I mean, like, go ahead, do the work, and within a few months, you'll actually reap the benefits of what you did.
Okay, great. Gunjan, your message out to the aspirants.
I think my message to the aspirants would be, fill up the SCIT form, sit in our GDPI process. You'll have a tremendous experience because of the panelist. You'll have a fabulous experience in even in the admission process. So you would get a glimpse of what SCIT offers. Sit through the process. It's very unique. It's very uniquely formed, and the students here are also from a very unique background, altogether combining with a similar interest of technology. So all the technology lovers, I think you should get ahead, and you should just fill up the forms, get selected, study for it, and wish to see you next year in our batch.
So Gunjan, the students need not be expert footballers, right, in order to qualify at SCIT.
No,
they need not be, right?
Okay. They need not be. They would carry their own interest, and we appreciate everyone.
Right. How long have you been playing football? Like, so ever since you were a child?
Yes, I think I was 10 years old. Since then, I've been, playing football, and I go to the matches. I'm a 3-time state level football player.
Oh my God. Okay.
That, yeah, since my childhood. It's very close to my heart. So.
All right. So guys, audience, that brings me to the end of the session. She is Gunjan, and she believes in kicking her worries away. कुछ भी आता है जूते की नोक पे रख के फेंक देंगे, हम हटा देंगे. And he is Aryan, of course. He sings his worries away. He sings his blues away. कुछ भी problem आएगा, गाना गाएंगे. He plays the guitar, guys. So that brings me to the end of the session. I sincerely hope it was an enlightening session for all of you. And these two people, the two lovely people, have given us a glimpse of what they are doing at SCIT. That has been quite encouraging, quite motivating for me, because now I know how to guide my students. When students come up to me and ask me for like advice, ye college, ye college, ye college, so I know this is going to be on the tip of my tongue now, and I'm going to definitely advise the person. Okay, Gunjan and Aryan, thank you so much once again for being there with us today. It was a real pleasure talking to both of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
being here.
Thank you, guys.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.